Hi everyone. Thanks so much for joining me for one of my favourite subjects, and that is all about boho blouses. Now, when I see a good boho pattern, it gets me excited because I am a child of the 70s. I love the 70s fashions. Well, you could say boho's kind of 60s/70s. I think the whole style itself just encompasses everything that I want to wear, as far as the floaty fabrics, the comfortable, easy styles, especially for summer. Those kind of moo-moo looking caftan style dresses are really so lovely and breezy and easy to wear. It gets me excited because there's so many beautiful fabrics I can see that would suit these style of patterns, and they really are having a bit of a revival lately. So I've got a list of patterns that I think you're going to really love. Now remember, these are all blouse patterns, but a lot of them are very easy to make into a dress as well. And they do look great in things like linen and cottons, as well as more floatier style viscose, georgettes, chiffons and rayons. So you can really adapt the pattern to make it look as floaty as you like. And I've got one of my favorite dresses on here today. This is the Deer and Doe Myosotis dress that I made for my 50th. It's in a really pretty fabric, Godmother fabric. Now, I'm not sure if there's any left in our online store, but there are a couple of other beautiful fabric, Godmother fabrics still left there. There's plenty of mozzies here floating around. Sorry if they're a bit annoying, but love the way that this fabric falls. I love this kind of boho sleeve. I think it's really pretty and lends itself really nicely to the pattern. But yeah, so let's get started on favorite boho blouses. Lots of these I've made. There's a few here I haven't, but I would love to hear if you guys have made them and what you've thought of them too. So the first one would be a brand new pattern for me. I've made a couple of these. Now, one of these was featured in my latest September box, which was the Secret Garden, and I made it in this beautiful green cotton lawn. It's stunning fabric. It's the Poppy Blouse by Scout Patterns, and it's one of Casey's newest patterns. It is one of my firm favorite patterns. I absolutely love the neckline. I love the detail around the collar. I love the tie at the front. I love the fact that you can add the peplum fluted hem on, or just leave it as a tunic style. You can do so much with this. It's got a lovely sleeve with a cuff with a binding detail, but you can quite easily leave it floaty as well. You can add things like trims onto the sleeves as well. If you wanted to have like a lace trim, you can do that too. So just such a beautiful pattern, really easy to make, doesn't take a lot of fabric, but the raglan style sleeve, I must say, is just beautiful on this pattern. Casey's patterns are all wonderful, but I can really highly recommend the Poppy. I think it's a beautiful fitting pattern. Another pattern that I will swear by, absolutely love it, and I know that Janine has just done an update on this pattern. So if you've bought this in the past, you would have received an email from her saying that you can update the sleeves. She decided to modify the pattern and take a little bit of the fullness out of the two-piece sleeve. This is the Heron blouse by the Sewing Revival over in New Zealand. It's one of my firm favorite patterns. I've made quite a few of these. You can do it in the open neck style. You can do it in the elastic high neck style. You can really just about do anything. There's also a dress in this that has a beautiful elastic tied in waist. So that's one that I've had printed out and never got around to making, but really need to do that because you can do it in a short sleeve as well. The difference with the sleeves, of course, you've got the regular sleeve, you've got the two-piece big bishop sleeve with the elastic shearing around the wrist. Really beautiful boho vibes there. Really lovely statement style blouse that would look so gorgeous in anything like a viscose, a cotton, maybe a double gauze, but nice and floaty, and a beautiful print also looks great in this Heron blouse. Now, they've also come out with a brand new pattern called the Raw Edge shirt, and from what I've heard some great reviews on this because you can leave the hems unfinished, almost like sort of pull the thread out and make all the fringy bits sort of stick out of the fabric. So if you've got a nice natural fibre or a raw fibre, you can do that, especially things like cottons and linens. So she gives you details about how to do that, but it's got a really lovely sleeve and neck detail as well. So that's one of the newer patterns from the Sewing Revival over in New Zealand. I've spoken about this other blouse before too. It's the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse. It can be made with a beautiful bell-shaped sleeve as well as a regular sleeve, but you can do a lot with this as far far as the ties. You can add little beads and things like that on. You can add different trims, so you really can adapt the pattern to make it more unique and give it more of a boho or 70s vibe. So definitely a great pattern and a great building block to have in the wardrobe. Now this blouse is one that I made back in, I think it was April. It's the Fiber Mood Hortons blouse. It's a bit of a different style boho blouse. It's got the shirring on the yoke detail there and up to the neck, but it's not a really high neck. It just gives a lovely little neck detail. It has a little bit of a puff sleeve as well, but it's nice and floaty through the body, so it's perfect for things like your double gauzes, anything floaty and soft and cottons and rayons and that style of thing. So definitely one that I would definitely think about making again, and even making it in the dress version, which they have got instructions on how to do that too in the pattern. You do get both the dress and the blouse pattern in one. Now one that's just taken the internet by storm, and that is the new Tilly and the Buttons Marnie blouse or dress. There's been a lot of mixed feedback about this because of the big floofy kind of shoulder frill that they've got there, but I've also seen some beautiful versions without that shoulder version, that shoulder frill. If you're not into all those flounces, definitely look at modifying this and having it just as the regular style bust and yoke there. And also I've seen some great innovative ideas on how to do embroidery on that yoke, which just would look stunning if you had a cheesecloth style fabric as well there. So there's been quite a few people make the Marnie and absolutely love it. I think Rachel from Stitched Up has made a beautiful version, and I think that Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl has got one planned to make as well, and they were in the same way, in two minds about making it because of how flouncy it was. But I really think that it's a sort of blouse that you could make in a more simple, understated fabric and give different details to the finishings that you put on the little details there. So don't overlook patterns. Sometimes you get a great base or great building block for a pattern, and you just take one or two elements that you say you're not fond of, you can really make it a statement style boho blouse of your dreams. Now another pattern that I absolutely love, and I am planning on making one of these, and it's from So Different Patterns. It's called the Chamomile Caftan. This is just gorgeous. It's got some stunning sleeve details, some sleeve pleating there. I definitely want to make one of these, and I have my eye on some beautiful cotton lawn from the online store that I've got, some fabric Godmother, the Richmond bright green print, and I love the way that So Different Patterns, that when she's done these patterns, she's used fabric Godmother prints as well, so you can kind of see how it's going to come up. But love a good caftan, a good muumuu or tunic style dress for throwing on over the bathers, swimwear in summer. I think her new latest retro style design patterns are just stunning, so really one that I want to make. Now the next pattern I'm going to mention here has been around for many years. It's one of the first blouse patterns I would have tried with indie patterns, and that's from True Bias Patterns. It's called the Roscoe blouse. It's very oversized. I must admit, when I made it, I did size down and I still found it quite roomy. It's got those beautiful big bishopy style sleeves and the kind of gathered neckline as well, but very oversized. I would definitely consider going down a size or two, but a lovely simple style boho blouse pattern to add to the pattern collection. It's also great if you're wanting to make it into dress and to wear it with a belt as well. It really sort of cinches in the waist, and you can get more options that way. Now one that I'm planning on making, I actually had a pattern printed out ready to go because I was planning on doing this for the launch of the new Fiber Mood mag, and that's the Fiber Mood Kika dress. Now this is stunning, and I really want to make it in a seersucker, like a gingham print that I've got. It has a really nice placket at the front and a great style detail sleeve. It's got that kind of vibe to it, I would say, like the Pattern Fantastic Dahlia blouse, which is another beautiful bohemian style blouse or dress pattern that I absolutely love. Now the actual construction of that pattern is quite unique. A lot of people have said it can be a bit confusing as well, but I've made one before. I'm feeling pretty confident going and making another one, but I must say the Pattern Fantastic patterns are so beautifully drafted and very unique, but a little bit different to put together than the regular patterns you may be used to. But I would definitely go ahead and make it. It's just stunning, and so is the Pattern Fantastic Celestial dress. Is a great pattern for summertime too. The other one I've made the start of the year was the Helen's Closet March top. Now the March top is beautiful in a dress as well. It is a very voluminous sleeve. It's got lovely placket detail at the front there. You can make it more of a kind of straight line cropped style blouse, or you can add that little fluted piece on as the hem if you're wanting to add that frilly kind of bit to the bottom. So you can give it a couple of different looks. And yeah, as I say, it's got quite a big voluminous sleeve, and I made mine in a cotton lawn. If you made it in something like a viscose or a rayon, it would give it a softer style effect too, but that's also a great pattern. And the lawnmowers are starting on cue. The other one, now this is a very, very kind of Victorian style bohemian blouse. It's the Pauline Ellis Shaley blouse. It ties up at the back. It's got a really stunning style neckline and yoke detail. It'd be beautiful with some embroidery on the front as well. I think this would be beautiful even in a crisp white cotton lawn with some lace detailing as well. It's a really classic style floaty bohemian blouse. It is just gorgeous. Folkwear Patterns, of course, they do cater for all of those historical style patterns, a lot of national kind of costumes as well. They adapt their patterns, and they have got a couple of bohemian style blouses that I think are really, really pretty. You've got the Romanian blouse, which is a really lovely and soft and floofy style blouse. Also the French cheesemaker blouse, which is another one a bit more reminiscent to the Roscoe blouse with that gathering around the neck. But some great patterns there to do some unique detailing on. Now, one that I've made in the past and loved it for that real retro style boho fabric, that was the Marcia style Leela blouse. I've made a dress and I've made a blouse in this, and it's soft and floaty and vibrant and beautiful, and the sleeve detail is stunning. It's got quite a low V at the neck, but the way that the body softly drapes around is very, very flattering on everyone. It's just such a lovely shape to that blouse. I really, really enjoy wearing that one. The other one I would say that I've made a big 4 pattern in the past. It's a really lovely boho style. Is a McCall 7325. It's very oversized as well. I would definitely consider making a 12 up of this one as well, because when I tried it on, a size down and it was still very, very large, but it has got a beautiful sleeve detail, very floaty with that tie at the front. The only thing is when you're sizing down, be careful of the bust, because the bust at the yoke there is quite firm. If you go too small in the body, you can run into trouble getting it fitted around the bust area. So that's the only thing. It's always good to make a 12 up, because you can run into trouble when you're sizing down that many sizes and you do have a fitted area like your yoke or your bust line area. You want to make sure your shoulders are going to fit you really well. But that is a great big 4 pattern that I would definitely recommend making. Always more true to the indie patterns because of the way they fit. I don't need to modify them quite as much as I would with a big 4 pattern. When I make a big 4 pattern, I always need to make quite a few modifications with the sizing and tweak things like that. But you know, a lot of my favorite pattern companies, I can know what size I'll be and make it, and it usually always fits really well. I'd love to hear about your favorite boho blouses. If you've got a favorite one that you love making, please write it in the comments below, because we can share the love around that way and everyone can get to see what favorite patterns there are for that whole boho theme. Thanks for watching today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very shortly for another episode. Bye for now.